As we have all been given 3 tiers of activities like family, profession, society, probably many of us would not have been able to remember him during the non-chanting time. Somebody may be able to remember him even in between our activities. But what is expected of us is to transform our entire activities. Activities means right from the moment we get up in the morning till we retire to bed in the evening as a form of sadhana to remember him. Not to be limited to Ram Nam chanting session, not to be limited to bhajan session, not to be limited to temple worship, ashram going, not limited to going through the works of the wisdom teachings of great masters, but throughout our waking state. How do we convert all our activities into sadhana? This is ultimately what is expected of us. Papa doesn't want anyone to lead only a contemplative life. Every field has been given to us by him. Every experience he gives us is only meant for this. We were not aware. He used to often say constant remembrance, constant remembrance, constant remembrance. What does it mean? It means remembrance of him throughout our waking state. So this is the real challenge all of us are facing. It may not be possible to have it in one go because our mind has not been trained. While we are involved in household activities, we honestly, earnestly apply our entire mind on that particular activity. When we are in our field of profession, we try to pull in all our energies for the discharge of our duties. And the same way, when we are with our friends, whatever is possible from our end, we are trying to do it, but all from our individual level. Because we are dealing it from our individual level, we are not being able to bring in the God dimension. Then we have been struggling hard to find an answer for this. Papa in one of his letters has specifically mentioned a methodology by which we can remember him throughout our waking state. What is that methodology? He says, try to enter into the mysterious origin of your and the world life. To know who you are in reality is the real quest. To arrive at this truth, You have to, by a systematized process of thought and discipline, transcend all human limitations set by the body, mind and intellect, and then, embarking on the realm of the spirit, realize your immortal, changeless, blissful nature. This constitutes spirituality. So we have been asked to concentrate on, we have been asked to delve deeper into the origin. Then only we will be able to maintain the constant remembrance. At the moment we feel we start from our me and mind level. That we remember throughout, whether at home or in the office or with our friends. That is not our real source. That is why Papa wants all of us to go back to our real source. So that we will always be able to connect ourselves with the real source. And connecting ourselves with the real source is called constant remembrance. It's a very serious study. Highly subjective. Normally, when we try to understand our source, we think that parents are our source. To some extent that is right. But it is not absolutely right. Parents are the instrumental cause for our birth. Why? Parents also have got their parents. They also have got their parents. So they can't be the original seed. Just like any tree, mango tree for example. The mango tree comes from a mango seed. That mango seed comes from a mango tree, another mango tree. That mango tree comes from another mango, seed mango. So which is the source? When Papa wants us to go to our source and the source of the world, he means the first source, the uncaused cause. Clarity is to be good. All these days he made us to do various sadhanas only to arrive at this fundamental truth of our real source. So in our case he cannot remember more than 2 or 3 generations. But we intellectually know that our parents are only the instrumental cause. So where from the first cause started. Our intellect pleads its inability. Then what do we do? So we go to the Shastras. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, Bijam Mam Sarva Bhutanam. I am the eternal seed of everything. Not only in one sloga, in so many slogas, he brings it out. So first he says, Bijam Mam Sarva Bhutanam, Viddhi Partha Sanatanam, Buddhir Buddhivadamasmi, Tejas Tejasvi Rama. All these things have to be thought over deep. O Arjuna, know that I am the eternal seed of all beings. I am the intellect of the intelligent and the splendor of the glorious. In another shloka he says, Gadir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi Nivasa Sharanam Suhrid Prabhava Pralaya Sthanam Nidanam Bijam Avyayam. I am the Supreme Lord of all living beings, and I am also their sustainer, master, witness, abode, shelter, friend. Then he repeats, I am the origin, end, and resting place of creation. I am the repository and the eternal seed. In another sloka he says, Yachavi sarvabhudanam bijam tadaham arjuna na tadasti vina yasyad maya bhudam characharam. I am the generating seed of all living beings, O Arjuna. No creature, moving or non-moving, can exist without me. Another sloka. Mamayone mahad brahma tasmin garbham dadamyaham svabhava sarvabhuthanam tato bhavati bharata. My womb is the real Brahman. In it, I place the seed. From that, O Varda, is the birth of all beings. Again, the Lord doesn't leave us. Sarvayonishu kaunteya murtaya sambhavandiya tasam brahma mahadyoni aham bija pradapida. It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving father. Aham bija pradapita. I am the seed-giving father. Yedat yonini bhutamani sarvani uvadharayah aham krishnasya jagada prabhava pralayastala. Know that all beings are manifested by these two energies of mine. I am the source of the entire creation, and into me it again dissolves. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarva pravartate idi matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. I am the origin of all creation. Everything proceeds from me. The wise who know this perfectly worship me with great faith and devotion. That's some basic idea. Basic idea for us to go further. Just like when we were all students in schools, when a mathematical problem comes, algebra especially, our teacher used to say, put X, then find out the answer later. So similarly here, when Papa wants us to know the origin, this is very important. First he said you should know the origin of yours and the world. So here we have this clue that the Almighty Lord of the universe is the seed of all things. So he gave us life. Papa describes God as subtle and mysterious power, energy. We have to do a lot of thinking about it. Going deep, why Papa mentioned about this, now we understand. It is a highly subjective subject. We originally started how to convert all our activities right from morning till evening, night, as a part, as a form of a sadhana to remember Him. We have not been, all of us would like to do that, but in spite of all our sadhana, we have not been able to do it especially during the non-chanting time. So then we plead to Papa, you say that we should have constant remembrance, but we are unable to do it. After the chanting is over, even during the chanting also, the me and mind comes into the picture and we start everything from the me and mind level. How am I to get over? Then Papa answers, you go to the source. That is why he is building it up. In this connection, Papa clearly explains the obstacle. A self-created and very strong wall of separation shuts the individual from the view and experience of the immortal realm. That's why we are not in a position to remember. And this wall is the individual sense or ego. The eradication of the ego sense only befits the individual for achievement of the loftiest perfection of the transcendent truth. And now he brings out 3 more examples. As the dam obstructs the free flow of the stream, as a clog within the flute permits not the outpouring of a melodious note, as an ill-tuned stringed instrument cannot produce charming music, as the dimmed glass does not lend itself to the reflection of the light through it, so too the ego within which an individual is obsessed is the one hindrance to the spontaneous revealment of the indwelling divine power and joy. Remove the dam, you allow the waters of the stream with all its pristine purity to flow in a sparkling current. Empty the flute of its clogged matter and you play upon it to produce a celestial melody. Tune the instrument and you draw from it the most entrancing music. Clean the glass and you permit the light to pass through it with a glorious brilliance. Similarly, eliminate the ego sense from your life and that instant you liberate life to realize its oneness with the immortal truth, the oneness with the entire universe, the oneness with the infinite power, its oneness with the everlasting joy. So the sense of individuality is the roadblock. That is why it doesn't allow us to go beyond its existence. So that is why Papa said you go to the source. So when we delve into our and the world's existence, that we have always. So when we are convinced, this is very important. When we were conceived by our mother, we can only sit from this platform. The present me in me was not consulted. Think about it. Did we have any role? The present me and mine in us, did we have any role in getting ourselves conceived? Think. This attests to the fact that the human birth was given to us, and based upon the karmic baggage we are brought forward from our previous birth, our body, mind, intellect complex was shaped. So each one of us is working our own karmas. Now it might become surely clear now. Bijanam Sarvabhudanam, the Lord said in so many shlokas. Now slowly we understand the present me and mine in us had no particular role in getting ourselves conceived in our mother's womb. The life was given by God. Nisargadatta Maharaj explains what are the essentials to which you consider as you? When you say you, what do you consider yourself? Obviously the body. But this body that is now in its prime, healthy, strong, was once a little drop or speck of chemical matter when conception took place in your mother's womb. Think, did you do anything to be so conceived? Did you want to be conceived? Were you consulted? Further, what is it that was latent in the tiny speck of matter which was conceived that caused it to grow into a fully developed baby with the blood, flesh, marrow, bones, first in your mother's womb and thereafter in this world until it is now sitting before me discussing philosophy. Many of us may not apply our mind. No? During the 9.5 months in mother's womb, how he helped us to grow this stone and our organs. Beautifully, well coordinated, well set. No? Each one not trespassing into another. Did we have any role? The me and mine. We are reminded about why are we talking? Papa wants us to go to our source. Why do we go to our source? So that we will always get connected to it. Rather than connecting it to the me and mine now, we will slowly start connecting to the source. So when we try to go through that, Mahatmas who have scaled the heights are revealing to us all these truths. The body has, during its growth, assumed various images which you are considered to be you at different times. But no single image has remained with you constantly. And yet, there is something which has indeed remained without any change. I was a child. I was an adolescent. I became an adolescent. I became an adult. I became a young man. I became a middle-aged person. And now I am a senior citizen. These are the changes that have been taken. But still there is one thing constant, I. What is that? Is that not your sense of being alive? The consciousness which gives sentience and energy to the psychosomatic apparatus known as the body. The consciousness is given various names. Beingness, I amness, self, Atman, God, Maya, love. The world exists for you only if this consciousness is there. If you are not conscious as in deep sleep, can the world exist for you? Now do you get some idea of what is it that makes you instinctively think of yourself as you? And this composite of the physical body, the life force prana which is the active principle, consciousness which enables the physical senses to cognize things, what you appear to be is the outer body. What you are is consciousness. This theme is elaborated further upon through the following words of Pujya Swami Muktanandaji. Little more explanation. When the mother conceived me on the second or third day, I was only a gel, neither liquid nor solid, which slowly descended into the womb. This gel had no power to breathe, to lift the hand. It was only a mass of flesh. It slowly descended into the womb and became big. According to the medical science, the energy came into the womb in the 4th week after this gel was formed. In other words, the energy which was me or which was you came into the womb only after 4 weeks had elapsed since the gel was formed. This means that you are never the body, but you are always the energy. A living and loving energy. Now that we know that we are not the body, the question remains as to where from the energy inside came. The source from which we are born is something infinite and immense. And now, so we have some intellectual idea now about our source. He gave us the body. He gave us the sense of individuality to every one of us. But why are we different from each other then? When the source is one. The question turns to the cause of the variety and multiplicity of his creation. Take, for instance, a human being. Children of the same parents develop different characteristics in spite of the same upbringing, ambience, and nurturing. In our own home. This makes us wonder. Therefore, we turn to our scriptures for answers, where it is explained that the cause for the multivarious expressions in creation is due to the karmic baggage. This indicates that our sense of individuality, consisting of the body, mind, intellect, has been shaped according to the previous karmas, which include gunas, born out of vasanas, unfulfilled desires, cravings, infatuations, our rights and wrongs, our likes and dislikes, our preferences, our priorities, our preconceived notions, and the like. So each one of us has developed this. Because he has given us a sense of individuality, we have forgotten the original source, and therefore we developed all these things. These are the capital with which we started our present life, carrying over. Swami Chinmayanandaji's following words in Atmabodha throw more light on this theme. The enjoyment of pleasure and pain in this physical body is determined by our past karmas. Thought by thought, action by action, we have demanded the present body and mental equipment. In fact, even while we are alive and acting here now, we order the shape of our future life to be. With our own actions, we give a blueprint to God. Very important for all of us. Many of us are in the evenings of our life. So we should know this. With our own actions, we give a blueprint to God, ordering the exact shape of our destiny, and according to the specification given, the body, the tent of experience, is built and handed over to each one of us by the all-merciful, omnipotent, divine Creator. That is why we will not have any grumblings and complaints. Nobody is responsible. This theme can further be understood through the words of Acharya Vinoba Bhave. An artist paints a variety of pictures on the same type of paper with the same brush. A sitarist creates different ragas out of the same 7 notes. Sarigama Padani. In literature, it is very easy to understand for all of us. In literature, a variety of thoughts, ideas and feelings are expressed through a few letters of the alphabet. Whatever we have read, it is within A to Z. Simple, innocent alphabets. But when we heard all these things, different types of emotions it touches and kindles. Different types of thoughts, different types of direction. Same innocent 26 letters. A sitarist creates different ragas out of the same 7 notes In literature, a variety of thoughts, ideas and feelings are expressed through a few letters of the alphabet. Different pictures drawn by the same artist with the same brush on the same paper evoke different feelings. Therein lies the skill of the artist. The artist and the sitarist have such a skill in their fingers that they make you laugh and cry. In their fingers lies the magical power, the anger of the angry man, the love of the lover, the agony of the sufferer, the happiness of the happy one, the drowsiness of the idler, the activity of the industrious man. All these are manifestations of one and the same cosmic energy. These different emotions and urges, although they are often contrary to each other, spring from the same source. As the cosmic energy within is one and the same in all, the outer bodily cover of all is also the same in nature. So right from the seed level up to this moment, it is the subtle and mysterious power called Ram by Papa that has been providing everything to the individual through its true creations, Mother Nature and society. We have intellectually understood that we have no role in getting into our mother's womb. We have no role in bringing up these 200 more organs. And when we came out of the mother's womb, we did not bring anything. And the same power who is responsible for this has also ensured to provide us what is basically needed for our existence. For example, the air to breathe, the water to drink, the earth to exist, the space to move about, the 98.4 degree to maintain our physical body, sun, rains, metals, minerals, gases, trees, fruits, pulses. Just imagine, have we done anything? Remember the buzzwords, go to the source. So far, he has made us to understand that we had no role. As we started growing from the childhood, slowly we wanted more and more of creature comforts. And all creature, none of the creature comforts which we enjoy now, have been produced by us. He saw to it. Apart from giving us the life, apart from giving us the body, apart from handing over the body, mind, intellect equipment, apart from providing the basic necessities for existence, he also saw to it that our life should become comfortable. So through his selected instruments, he made them to do a little bit of probing, to discover, to invent, to innovate various things. When we used the chapel, we remember. When there was no chapel, he made somebody to think about chapel. When there was no building, he made somebody to think about building. Later on, many people have improved. That also here. When there was no electricity, he made somebody to think about electricity. When there was no amplifier, he made somebody to think about amplifier. When there was no specs, he made somebody to think about it. When there was no dress, when there was no sofa, think. When there was no brush, paste, soap, wash basin, commode, when there was no idli, dosha, roti, chapati, he made somebody to think. Chutney, sambar. When there was no education, when there was no language, he made somebody to think about education. Think. So everything has been provided by the, Papa used to say, great provider. G and P capital. These are all there in glimpses of divine vision. So he is the great provider who has been providing right from my seed level up to this moment. I don't need a specific object to remember him now. Any object will connect me to him. Please think about it. The first part he gave us today was to constantly remember him. We were unknowingly limiting ourselves to remember him through certain activities like Ramnam chanting, bhajan, swadhyay, darshan, satsang. But during the non-chanting time or non-swadhyaya time, non-bhajan time, non-darshan time, we were not remembering him. We were starting everything from our me and mind level. So Papa here reminds, go to the source. Not only your source, but also source of the entire universe. We now slowly try to understand, first intellectually now. That when Papa says he is omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient, we were not understanding that language. When Papa dropped the body, Mataji used the word, I don't know whether you have heard about it. Omnipresent Papa's ashram is the whole universe. To know that, you have set up this ashram. So when he said omnipresent Papa means, we were not able to understand. Now it becomes slowly becoming clear, Right from my seed level up to the entire manifestation level. He is behind. This is how he made. When the harmonium was not there, different tunes sung by devotees, when there was no such thing. So our idea is to transform all our activities as a part of our sadhana, to remember him. So anything that we handle, right from the moment we get up, we see the cot, we see the room, we see the switch, we see the bed, the bedspread, the pillow. When there was no such a thing, he made somebody to think, Buddhir Gurjivadamasmi. Just now we read out that particular slogan. He is the intelligence or the intellect or the intellect or the intelligence, Just imagine, paddy is a gift of Mother Nature, God gave it. But he made an individual to go look into it. And the probing nature in him kindled to remove the husk. And what came out as rice, so then he or who is responsible to cook and eat as rice, to grind and make a dough, to make dosha idli. Like that you start thinking. The first bindi he brought, but he made an individual to look at it, and then he started cutting it, putting so many things and make it a sambar. So behind everything that we handle, we slowly try to remember him. We need not count him. It could be a mental activity. Easy one to the language. Without language, how can we communicate with others? The primordial intelligence. How many languages in the world? Just imagine. So in order that we remember him, he gave us this triune path, Nam, Seva, Dhyan. It is not merely chanting. Papa says, ceaseless chanting of God's name side by side with contemplation on the attributes of the divine, has given him that realization even prior to the advent of him as a mendicant. That means from 1920 to 1922, that was the prime period of his sadhana. Everybody thought, merely chanting. No. He specifically mentioned this going in. Ramdas, these are his words. Ramdas, through a ceaseless repetition of the divine mantra, side by side with concentrated meditation on the all-pervading, eternal, ever-blissful, indwelling God, had attained freedom and peace even before his advent into the world as a mendicant. That means before he left on 27th December 1922, the 20 to 22 period, 2 years time, it was chanting and dwelling on the source. Ramdas, through a ceaseless repetition of the divine mantra, side by side with the concentrated meditation on the all-pervading, eternal, ever-blissful, indwelling God, had attained freedom and peace even before his advent into the world as a mendicant. This Nama chanting and our Nama chanting is different. This Nama chanting, it was a meditative chanting. So now, having intellectually understood the power behind the sense of individuality and the world, how can we translate this knowledge in our daily lives? The simplest method suggested by our master to remember him is the triune path of Nam, Seva, Dhyan. Of these three, Nama plays the most crucial role. This regular practice will also help us during the non-chanting time to pull us up This regular practice will also help us during the non-chanting time, very important, to pull us up whenever we go off the track. That means whether in Seva or in Dhyana. So Nama means to remember him, we have been asked to give a name to that power and then chant the name with total faith and devotion. Number 2, the uniqueness of the sadhana of chanting the name is that it is free from all preconditions and therefore can be chanted at any time, anywhere. Number 3, chanting is to remind the chanter. Chanting is to remind the chanter that the name chanted stands for the great provider who has been providing everything right from the seed level up to the present stage. This is very important. Chanting is to remind the chanter that the name chanted stands for the great provider who has been providing everything right from the seed level up to the present stage. Number 4, while chanting, Viral Papa also wants us to remember that we are chanting the name of the one who is within us, and most important, who is making us to chant. Here he gives the key, key to separate the sense of individuality from the original source. Not that I am chanting. Think about it. While chanting, Viral Papa also wants us to remember that we are chanting the name of the one who is within us and who is making us to chant. Here we remember when Pujya Swamiji as Ananda Shivan came for the first time to Pujya Papa. Papa was sitting on the cement bench immediately after the Panchavadi steps. So Swamiji as Ananda Shivan prostrated before him, introduced himself, and then told him the state of his then mind. That means the mind has no liking to go along with the common run of life. But at the same time, the mind does not know the alternative. This is the tremendous inner tension that was going on within him. Common run of life means education, afterwards getting a job, settling with a family, going to a profession, be with the friends, that's all. No? This is the common run of life, all of us have. No inclination, no taste for that. But at the same time, don't know the alternative. So he was passing through such a terrible mental conflict that ultimately took him to Papa. So Papa smiled at him. These are the words given to us by Pujya Swamiji himself. On his 50th dedication day, when a proposal came to bring a souvenir, Swami Shuddhanandaji told us, you take up that initiative, and so many people say so many things about Swamiji. So one day we told Swamiji, we are coming there for an interview, official interview. With a tape recorder we went there, and then we asked him questions. All these things came out during that question hour. Otherwise we also did not have any idea. So when Papa heard everything, Papa said, take Ram now. He gave him Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram 3 times and told him to hold on to it. Swamiji said he waited for a few minutes for the answer, questions that is pestering him. So then he asked, Papa, can I stay here? Then said Ramdas, not now, Ramdas will tell you later. Having come here, you stay for 1 or 2 or 3 days. Again, what he asked, Papa is not answering. So then Swamiji put it in another way. So when I go back and when I am confronted with certain doubts, when I write, will you answer? Papa said Ramdas will not answer. So far he was lovingly answering, but abruptly he said Ramdas will not answer. Swamiji said, I was taken aback. Then immediately Papa did like this, patting on his back, smiled at him. This is very important. If you get doubt, take it that you have not chanted the name properly. We are chanting the name of one who is within us, who is making us to chant. Then Swamiji said, after 2-3 days he went back. So many doubts were coming, but he cannot ask, so he has to go within. That is the method Papa did. Not getting answers from outside, he was relying on the Guru within and getting answers. To us, he has been gracious enough to say these words. If we start thinking that while chanting, that he is making me to chant, then naturally, slowly I will be able to accept he is making me to talk. He is making me to see. He is making me to hear. He is making me to touch. He is making me to eat. He is making me to think. He is making me to lose. He is making me to gain. He is making me to laugh. He is making me to cry. Entire thing is contained in this. While chanting, Viral Papa also wants us to remember that we are chanting the name of the one who is within us and who is making us chant. And then, when chanting is done with the right perspective, even for a short while, it would help us remember that it is done by the power of God and as a service to Him. Pujya Swamiji in his memoir wrote in 2003, he said this. He was not regularly chanting like Mataji used to prescribed. But even if we chant it for a short time, it will be with full concentration, the impact of which will remain with him throughout. Concentrate. So when chanting is done with the right perspective, even for a short while, it would help us remember that it is done by the power of God and as a service to Him. And finally, remembrance is meant for us to be able to attribute everything to Him, even the very act of chanting. And then comes seva. Nobody will be able to chant the divine name throughout the waking period because of preoccupations with the family, society, and profession. So another clue given by Beloved Papa is to ensure this constant remembrance. He says outer activities should be compatible with the inner aspiration. Meaning, inner aspiration is to remember Him. Every act, whether at home or in the office or with our friends, it should have a touch of love, a touch of perfection, a touch of dedication, and also a touch of gratitude. This constitutes seva. In other words, it is a movement from me to we. So nobody will be able to chant throughout. So during the non-chanting time, he has also given us a clue to keep the thread of remembrance by handling everything, right from the minutest to the grossest. Everything, now we know, all owe its origin to Him. All objects, all persons, all situations owe to Him only. So we handle everything with a touch of love, with a touch of perfection, with a touch of dedication, with a touch of gratitude. And then comes the dhyana. Nama and seva prepare the groundwork to undertake the inward journey. Here also Papa gives clear-cut instructions how to feel His presence inside. Mental repetition of God's name, these are His words, gradually hastens the emergence of peace and tranquility and paves the way to develop witness consciousness. This witness consciousness is now here. You know that you are hearing. You know that you are seeing. You know that you are sitting. You know that you are. In Upanishads, there is a beautiful dialogue between Janaka and Shuka, where it has been beautifully brought out to make it short. The gist of it is, on an Amavasi day at 12 o'clock midnight, we sit in this room, pitch darkness everywhere, no electricity. To see any other light, any other object, we need a light. No, any other object. But do we need a light to know that we are sitting? Inner light is there. That is consciousness. That is witness consciousness. So that is why he says, mental repetition of God. Now why we are not aware? Thought after thought after thought. It covers it. So Papa says, from the vocal we must graduate to mental chanting. Because in mental chanting it is easy to feel the presence of the witness consciousness. Meaning what? I know that I am chanting. Wait, who is knowing, who is chanting? So he says, Mental repetition of God's name gradually hastens the emergence of peace and tranquility and paves the way to develop witness consciousness. And here he puts a beautiful word. The witness consciousness is a state of awareness of the immortal and radiant truth within us. It itself is God realization. So now we understand the triune path. The triune path leads the aspirant to the vision of divinity within and later also without. God realized saints assure us that once we are stabilized in the vision of divinity within, loving all and serving all will become spontaneous and natural, because we have identified the common factor in everybody. When we have identified the common factor in others, automatically love and service comes. We live, we work, we deal with men and matter. We also try to shape our mind and heart, trying to manifest the divine spark that is within us. In this way, a parallel development takes place. Externally universalizing the vision, inwardly the spiritual growth and fulfillment. This is the motto of Ananda Ashram. On the 15th May 1931, at the time of inauguration of our Ananda Ashram, Papa specifically mentioned about the ideal of Ananda Ashram. When you go next to Ananda Ashram, as you keep stepping into the centenary hall, there will be a board there, a big board, where there are photos of Papa, the photo of Ananda Ashram in 1933 and Mataji, and below that the words. He says the ideal of the ashram is universal love and service based upon the vision of divinity in all. The vision of divinity, how can I understand? He gave this triune path. Through this understanding, if we try to go along with it, Papa assures us that this constant God remembrance in the form of love, in the form of perfection, in the form of dedication, in the form of gratitude, it will express itself. Every now and then we may get some doubt. We look at their life. They are placed before us their life. In Papa Mataji's life, everybody knows. Swami is also. Whether these points, touch of love. When Mataji said, this is also Papa, this is also Papa, this is also Papa, this is also Papa. Now we understand, no? They were able to go to the source. So we don't have to separate. Normally we used to have, this is spiritual life, this is worldly life. No. Papa demolishes the divide between this. Then only we will be able to constantly remember him. Otherwise we will not be able to remember him. Because our mind specifies certain activities, certain places, certain situations as spiritual and the other as non-spiritual or worldly. But Papa demolishes this and says everything is He. And in one of his beautiful quotations he said, behold divinity in every aspect of this world Leela. Verily He is at play in our beings and creatures. Behold divinity in every aspect of this world Leela. Verily it is He at play in our beings and creatures. So these are some of the thoughts which He prompted us to share with you all, so that we transform our entire activities right from morning till night. Wherever we are, we don't have to change any field. The only thing is we have been asked to bring out this dimension in anything and everything, so that we get connected to our real source, and the real source is He only. That we are very clear. We have no role in getting into the mother's womb in the form of a bija. That has been made clear. These are all the thoughts which he wanted to share with you. We are very, very happy to be in the midst of you all, so that you, who God in the form of all of you, gave us an opportunity to remember this sublime truth, this fundamental truth. Again and again you have to do, because we are not used to it. We always, even after this program, when we go, we will start from me and mine only. So constant hammering is to be done. That is why in one of his words he mentions, he says, through mere superficial churning of thought, Ramdas's words cannot be understood. You can throw light on them only when you bring with you the blazing torch of your own perfected experience. Experience is gained by diving into the depth of your mind. Through mere superficial churning of thought, Ramdas's words cannot be understood. You can throw light on them only when you bring with you the blazing torch of your own perfected experience. That means lot of manana. These 2 years, when we were celebrating the centenary of Inquest of God, often he made us to think, in 2 years' time he could scale the heights. We have been doing it for decades now. Why is it that we have not been able to do it? So he says, through mere superficial churning of thought, Ramdas's words cannot be understood. You can throw light on them only when you bring with you the blazing torch of your own perfected experience. So very important. So this is how he leads us. One more very important. Seek guidance always from within. If what Ramdas says is in agreement with your inner voice, follow it. Don't accept Ramdas's suggestion without a sanction from within. The more a man becomes reflective and meditative, the nearer he approaches the true springs of life. Springs of life, origin. So superficial, no. Seek guidance always from within. This is what he did. He is placing us before us, his experience. If what Ramdas says is in agreement with your inner voice, follow it. Don't accept Ramdas's suggestion without a sanction from within. The more a man becomes reflective and meditative, the nearer he approaches the true springs of life. Have Ramdas in your thoughts as the impersonal, immutable, deathless cosmic spirit and give up attachment to external forms. Directly you do this, you will attain liberation and immortal joy and peace within yourself. Don't substitute a golden chain for an iron one. Both are causes of bondage. So these are some of the words which we have to keep on reading, because we are in the midst of so many activities with our usual frame of mind. So to put it on this frame of mind, we have to chant his name with a prayer to put us on this lane. You have made us understood everything intellectually. You are the cause, and I am only a product of you. I have forgotten. I thought I am the cause for everything. And that is why you are not remembered. Now you have made me to remember that you are the cause, and I came to the field only very much later, and you have been providing everything to me right from the seed level up to this moment. I am not aware of it. And you made me to chant, you made me to develop a taste for it, you made me to develop faith in it. Now kindly transform that faith into constant remembrance. So when Sri Krishna ji in one tune, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. This is then appealing, appealing, pleading. So with that bhavana, why don't you please make me? Enough is enough. That this tune came from a song. Manasa Vacha Karmana Nirantaram Ninna Smarikumu Yennittum Ennodu Kanivu Katan Amantam Ende Ponname. Manasa Vacha Karmana, I have been trying to remember you, but still why are you delaying to make me realize that? So the same mental attitude we have while chanting that particular tune also, pleading, appealing, crying, You have given me all these thoughts, you have made me intellectually, you made me understood all these things. But when I come to the activity level, I forget only me is there, you are not there. This is not right. So with that, we try. In one activity in a day, 2 activities in a day, 3 activities in a day. Because nobody will be able to do it in one go. Absolutely not possible. Equipment is not made ready. So, and in Bhagavad Gita, God gives us provisions also, exemptions. Sarpam apyasya dharmasya. Even if I am 5% yogi, it's a gain. 6% yogi is a gain. 10% yogi is a gain. Meaning, if I am in a position to bring this dimension in 1 act, 2 acts, 3 acts, 4 acts, 5 acts, like that, it's a gain for me. So let us all pray to Him to give us this mental framework while handling with persons, situations, objects as much as possible. Hari Om. Thank you all very much. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. As prompted by him through many of his friends, a tour program has been drafted. So on 24th we leave here to London. We spend about a week there. From there we go to US. Friends are organized in 7 places. Satsang, some interactive sessions. And then we again come back to London and from there to Bombay. Because we cannot travel at a stretch for 20 hours or something like that. So the God saw to it through devotees that considering the limitations we have on the body, they have split the trip, 8 to 9 hours to London. And so many programs are also being drafted there. In London, apart from the Satsang in 1 or 2 places, our Christopher has planned for a 2 days Samyam Satsang. They are all Sri Andamay Amma's devotees. So whenever they come to India, they used to take part in Kankal and some other places. So we will spend with them. They want us to share something from Bhagavad Gita. So God has provided now the sources. Bhagavad Gita on gunas, Bhagavad Gita on values, Bhagavad Gita on surrender, Bhagavad Gita on source of all sources, Bhagavad Gita on peace. So that we try to keep up this remembrance always. And in states also, in New York, then Connecticut, and from there we go to Dallas, then from there to Riverside, South California, and from there we go to Seattle, and from Seattle to Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh back to New York, and stay there for 4 or 5 days, and then get back to London again, stay there for 3 or 4 days, and then we hope to, with Papa's grace, come back here to Bombay again on the 12th July. So kindly pray for us for the successful conduct of the mission he has entrusted, and also to give us the He has given us everything. So the body also should go along with it. So prayers of as many from his creation, no? That will help us a lot. Please, Hari Om.